Good morning, welcome to Fairy and Spoilt. I want to talk to you today about being aware of changes to the ingredients in dog food. I've discovered recently that a large confectionery company is going around and they're buying up smaller dog food companies and they're changing the ingredients, and they're not telling you. There's no reason why you would know. No, and nothing changes, it's just the ingredients changes. Now, with dog food, one of the laws is that there are certain things that they have to mention on the back of the packet, but they can pretty much put whatever they want on the front of the packet. And I often see it where they say that a dog food is grain free, and actually it isn't. When you actually look at the back of the packet, you can see that there was some grains in there. So in a minute, I'm going to just show you, in case you don't know, how to look at the back of a packet and see what's in it. But what I'm doing is, so I feed my dogs mainly home cooked food, but then maybe 3 meals a week, 3 days a week, I feed them dog food, and I use Barking Heads and Harringtons. And the reason that I like them is because they're 65 and 85% meat, and then the rest of it is vegetables, and it's really, really clear on the back, and the ingredients is really nice and clean. And so I feed my dogs that. But the problem with that is, so Harringtons and Barking Heads are both owned by the same company, and they're a small company, and so they could be targeted by this massive confectionery company. They could be brought out, and like I said, they're changing the ingredients, and you wouldn't know. I think a lot of you will be very surprised by who actually owns the dog food that you're feeding your dogs, and cat food for that matter. If you Google, it's really simple. If you just Google who owns and then put in the name of the dog food you're using, you'll get the name of who owns it. And I think a lot of you are going to be very surprised to realise that what massive dog food brands, not good quality, but massive dog food brands, are actually who they're actually owned by. And the thing that concerns me about this is that the two companies that I'm talking about, massive confectionery companies, if you think about it, you'll be able to work that out. When you actually look at the dog food brands that they already own, they're really bad quality food. If you're new to dog ownership, you may think that some of these brands are really good quality dog food because they market themselves as good quality dog food, and they also market themselves as like being in the brand, and you'll find that they sponsor all like massive dog shows and stuff like that. Actually, they're one of the worst. The ingredients that's in their food is shockingly bad. Hello. It's shockingly bad, isn't it, darling? No, you mustn't be eating it. No, you mustn't be eating it. It's shockingly bad, and I think a lot of you would be very surprised at that. So just Google who owns, and then whatever dog food it is that you feed your dogs. Hopefully, you're not going to be too surprised by what you see. So, this is what I'm doing. So, like I said, I'm a bit bothered about Barking Heads and Harringtons because they're a small company, and that's what they're going after at the moment, the small companies. So what I'm doing is I'm training to be a dog nutritionist. So obviously I'm very aware of the ingredients that's in those foods, and I would be very aware of any changes. But what I would recommend that you do is that you I'll show you in a minute how to do it, but maybe take a photograph of the back of your dog food, and then if you're happy with it, if you're happy with the dog food, that's all fine. Then take a photograph of it, and then when you go to buy your next batch of dog food, just check the composition. I'm going to show you in a minute how to do it. Check the composition and just make sure there haven't been any changes. Now, those changes could be quite subtle. Somebody contacted me, thank you for this, I appreciate that, and told me that they have seen in a dog food tapioca powder. Tapioca powder is a starch, and starches are really, really bad for dogs. If you've got a dog that's itchy or got hot spots or anything like that, please go to my hotspot playlist. I'll put it up at the end. It'll be the video that goes up at the end. Go to my hotspot playlist, because the whole reason that I'm becoming a dog nutritionist is because 10 years ago, my little Albert, my little dog in the corner there, he started to get hot spots and itchy skin, and it turned out that it was all because of his food. And so I got a little bit obsessive with researching dog food. And I can't go on to, there's so much to it. I can't go into that on this video, but I'll put it up at the end, or if you don't get to that, playlist, and then go to hotspots, and it's all in there, what you should and shouldn't be feeding your dog. And if you don't have particular hotspots or itchy skin, but just general dog health issues. Go to feeding dogs, because in there again, and there's lots of there's so many videos. It's just something I've been talking about a lot. So go to all of that. So I'm going to go now and show you what you're looking for when we're talking about the ingredients. Okay, so on the back of a dog food, there is what's called composition. Now, if it's a bad quality dog food, it may say ingredients. That isn't what you want. You want composition. And if you find your composition, so you see here, see there, composition, and it will tell you what's actually in the dog food. So here you see we've got chicken, 65%. And then you need to see how that's broken down. So it's broken down into 26% freshly prepared chicken, vegetables, potatoes, peas, carrots, whatever. And you need to read through all of that. I can't see that properly because I haven't got my glasses on. But you need to read through all of that and make sure that it's just stuff you know, like herbs, vegetables, stuff like that. This top half here, don't get too over concerned with this second half here, because that's where things get complicated. As a general rule, if the top, so the composition and this top part of composition is either meat, fish, vegetables and herbs, then you're all good. You do not want to see any cereals, oats, rice, anything like that. You don't want to see that at all. If you do not know about what you want to see inside a dog food, the video coming up at the end, understanding dog food, I go through everything with you, showing you exactly what you do want in dog food and what you don't want in dog food. And like the front of the packet, so like my front of the packet here says 65% freshly prepared meat, and we saw on the back that is true. The food that I really like the most is barking heads. This is the one I feed my dog the most, 85%. And when you look on the back, again, I haven't got my glasses on so I can't see, but if you'll be able to see there, and you can see here, look, the composition, and it backs it up. It says it's 85%, and if you go to the back of the packet, you'll see that it is 85%. And so I'm just going to be keeping an eye on that and making sure. Well, two things I'm going to keep doing. I'm going to keep typing in who owns barking heads and make sure that it stays with the company it is. And I'm just going to keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on that, really. And if that changes to one of these big confectionery companies, then I'll definitely be keeping a very close eye on the ingredients. Just remember, what they say on the front can be lies. That's okay. They can lie. It's not okay, but they can lie on the front. But on the back, to a degree, that composition has to be the truth. So that's the thing to remember. Something else I did want to point out is that I am very much all about home cooked dog food. Very much all about that. And I do home cook probably 4 days out of 7 my dog's food. The reason that I don't do the whole 7 days is because, and this is just how it happened to me, and I'm very glad I don't. I've just had a terrible cold, and it's just floored me, and I really haven't been very well at all. And I've only been out of action for about a week and a half. But, well, I've been up and about. I've got dogs. I have to be up and about. But I have felt really lousy, and I've still got it now, but I'm feeling so much better. And I haven't been recording videos or anything. I've really been out of action. And luckily, I had a good old stash of home-cooked dog food in the freezer. And I did cook for them a couple of the days, but there were days when I was just doing the bare minimum. And if I had had to cook them food, it would have been really tough. And so I was so grateful then that 3 days a week they get Harringtons, they get barking heads, and their systems are used to it. Because with if you're new to dog ownership, if you just chop and change dog food, their stomachs don't deal very well with that at all. They're not like us. We can just switch and swatch what we eat and it's fine, but they can't do that. And so I've always been feeding them actual dog food, so that if situations like just happened when I got ill, they were able to have dog food all the time, and it wasn't a problem for them. They were very used to it. I mean, even if you wanted to, and you just took that down to 1 day a week where they had an actual already made dog food. I mean, I know people who just feed their dogs homemade all the time, and it's absolutely fine. But I just have always thought, but also I thought, if anything happens to me, big, bad, anything ever happens to me, their systems are so used to cook food, to home cook food. But luckily, when I was ill last week, they could eat that, and it's fine. I think that's it. I don't think I've got anything else to say about that. So like I said, I've been ill, and yeah, so I haven't been. I don't think you've had a video for 2 weeks. I've been out of it. But anyway, I'm back now, and I'm on the mend. I'm certainly on the mend. And so videos will all be there. So I haven't responded to, there's a lot of your comments I haven't responded to. There's a lot of messages on Instagram I haven't responded to, and I'm sorry about that. I literally just haven't been able to look at my screen. My eyes have hurt so much I haven't been able to look at my screen, but I will. I'm back. I'll get back on that now. Thank you very much for your comments. There wasn't any. If any of those comments had been somebody urgently needing help, I definitely would have dealt with it. But it wasn't. It was just lots of nice messages, and that was very nice. Thank you very much. On that note, I've got to go because this cough, the cough is a real bad one. Anyway, so I'm going to go. But you know where I am, and you know how it all works. And so I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.